Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Elizabeth D'Orazio. For over 70 years, MJ Harrington Jewelers is where you want to feel at home, whether you're choosing something new, creating a unique design, or bringing in a treasured piece of jewelry for repair. Today, our Yankee Chronicle is back here in Newport as David has a few thoughts on making this holiday season special for your favorite someone. We'll hear about the annual Warnertown Holiday Celebration. Rick Stockwell will wrap up our visit to his bonsai workshop in Sutton. And Ben Taylor will let us know how you can help their efforts at the Bark and Bray Farm Sanctuary. But first, these messages from the good local businesses that are underwriting today's show. Remember, buying local is an important way to sustain the communities and programs we all love.
This program is supported by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating.
Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Elizabeth D'Orazio, coming to you from MJ Harrington Jewelers right here on Main Street in Newport. And as the holidays roll around, maybe you're looking for that perfect gift for someone, or maybe you've been given a piece and inherited it, and it looks like it needs a little more polish or repair. This is the perfect place to get that custom work done. I'm joined by Dave Lance, the owner, and he's going to tell us how he's the right person to trust with our family heirlooms. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for being here. Over the years, checked and cleaned rings all the time for almost 76 years we've been here. And I figured out, calculated conservatively, it's over 250,000 rings we have actually checked and cleaned. And it's always a free charge. We never charge. It's always been a free service. But the beauty of a little town like this is that we've been able to provide lots of services, be very involved in a variety of ways in the community, and ultimately the community has been so supportive, and we therefore can return the favor by being supportive of lots of different events and activities. It's a great feel. It really is fun.
When you come in here and you look at all the different cases, you can see there's beautiful custom pieces. There's a wonderful selection of engagement rings. Tell us a little about the process in making a custom ring.
We usually start with just a basic conversation. We show a lot of the pieces we already have in the case. Sometimes those samples will inspire somebody. Other times they may have seen something online. Mm-hmm. We can then take that theme, carve a wax, or actually make it out of precious metal. Mm-hmm. And we can do it in steps. And because we're fairly local, lots of times people will make 2 or 3 visits in the process of coming up with this, and we may do step 1, have them come in, almost like building a house, but on a much smaller scale, of course. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't happen in one visit. And that gives them the comfort that they know we're not going to finish a piece and say, this is it, custom made, too bad if you don't like it.
Right.
We are very, very passionate about making sure it looks exactly like what they envisioned when we're done.
And you do have a wonderful collection of estate jewelry, too. So many of those retro pieces, all different styles, you do have a great selection of that.
Thank you. We have made that a focus for years, and most of the pieces we acquire from outside the area. It's just fun because every piece is unique and different, mm-hmm. and so frequently pieces are well over 100 years old, and they carry a story that we can only imagine. But still knowing pieces have been around for 120 or 130 years, mm-hmm. based on the way they're made and the quality and cutting styles of the gemstones, is kind of fun to just handle.
And see that perfect. You might find it right there in the case.
That's right.
One of the things I know that even happened in our family is we inherited jewelry from great-grandparents and stuff, but your fingers aren't the same size, or the clasp is a little worn. You handle repairs of those items too.
We do. We do a lot of repair work. The 3 guys at the bench spend a lot of their time actually doing repair services for jewelry from mm-hmm. all around the area. I sit at the bench I would say after we close and before we open frequently as a backup, but I really don't sit at the bench anymore. So when we're at full steam ahead, we've got 4 of us at the bench, and we don't have enough. We really could use even one more craftsman. It's a skill that we're very proud of these guys, and
mm-hmm.
they bring a lot of awesomeness to the table.
What if we have a piece that we've inherited or something like that, and we'd like to know the value of it? Are you able to evaluate or appraise it in any way?
Sure. Yeah, I do personally do most of the appraisal work. this morning earlier, I had a couple of different people that were just curious about what they had, they inherited, and it was more just a quick evaluation, look it over, get a sense of whether they're real or not, and that's one of the key criteria that we have to be very careful about, of course, is identifying each of the gem materials, and I had that training back in the 70s, and the continue. We actually are, all of us here are required by the American Gem Society to be retested every year, so we get recertified in our chosen arenas. Mine's certified gemologist appraiser. The other certified sales associates must pass this test every year before they get recertified. So keeps us reasonably sharp, we think.
From the sounds of it, anyone can realize you're coming into a knowledgeable place, customer focus, community based, and any budget is worth it. You're going to spend as much time with someone with a smaller budget as a larger budget and find the perfect piece.
Absolutely. And we do offer engraving.
Oh, there you go.
And I hand engrave a lot of pieces in odd, inconspicuous spots, sometimes almost difficult to see, but I do it under the microscope. So often you can get a special message on something that you might not think could be engraved at all. And so that's another part of the offerings that we really
It's
like.
another great holiday thing, too.
It is,
Take an
indeed.
existing item and make it better.
That's right.
I love it. Well, if you're looking for the perfect holiday gift, or maybe you have something that needs to be resized or maybe customized and tweaked, MJ Harrington is the perfect place you can trust your family heirlooms, or maybe buying the heirloom for your own future. Let the gift of their customer service be the beginning of the perfect treasure for your loved one. When we return, we'll hear about the quintessential town holiday celebration in Warner. Please don't touch that clicker while we introduce you to one of our great underwriters.
This program is supported by the Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.
Hi, I'm Jim Culhane. I'm the CEO of Lake Sunapee Visiting Nurse Association. We're coming up on some very important dates for Medicare enrollees. Specifically, it's the Medicare open enrollment period, which begins on October 15th and runs through December 7th. A lot of people stick with traditional Medicare. It's what you've been paying into for a considerable period of time. It's robust, it travels with you, you can choose your own doctors, but we realize that there are Medicare Advantage products, may offer some unique perks as well. You can talk to an insurance broker. You may also contact your local ServiceLink office because they have a program to help you navigate the variety of products and find a match that might be best for you. It's important for you to be aware that there are some Medicare Advantage products that may not cover services that are important to you. Services such as home health, which is a crucial part of this continuum of care necessary to help people stay home. Do your research, talk to the people who know and may have some answers and provide guidance. Reach out to ServiceLink as they have a program that can assist. But in the end, make sure you choose an insurance that provides the range of services you may feel you need in the future. The last thing you would like to do is to find out that you need a service that is either not paid for or not covered and find yourself with an unexpected bill after services are provided.
Welcome back to Your Yankee Chronicle, coming to you from MJ Harrington Jewelry, where they take great pride in their highly trained creators in their craftsmanship. I'm Elizabeth D'Orazio, your host. Santa's coming to town, Warner Town that is. Let's hear more.
Okay, I want to welcome everybody back to Main Street Bookends, and I want to tell you about what's happening here in Warner. We are again having our annual Warner Hometown Holiday, and we're very excited about this. We welcome all of you. It's going to be Saturday, December 7th from 9 till 4, and I want to kind of run through some of the things that you're going to find here in Warner on that particular day. The Warner Area Farmers Market will be down in the lower level of Town Hall. These are all of our local farmers, our local crafters. You're going to have a lovely, lovely array of all kinds of homemade and whatever vegetables are available and so forth down in the Town Hall. The Pillsbury Library is going to have seasonal story time and a craft activity. That'll be at 10 o'clock in the morning. So you want to head your kids over to the library for that. Good story and making a craft. Doesn't get any better. From 10 until 4, the Upton Chandler House Museum will be presenting arts and crafts and decorations and holiday houseware. That's all from our local artists. They're also hosting the night before, Friday evening, from 5 to 7, a special exhibit of the artwork and the artists. So Upton Chandler House, you want to head over there. The Historical Society will have lots going on there for you. Over at the Town Hall, the Kearsarge Performance Arts will be performing The Gingerbread Man at 11 o'clock at the Town Hall. And this is a free performance, always fun. And that's 11 o'clock at the Town Hall. From 1 to 3 p.m. on the porch of Cafe One East, there will be holiday a cappella carols coming from a wonderful duet called Nice and Naughty. It's actually Peg Chaffee and Cheryl Sager. So they're going to be on the steps of the cafe, lots of caroling going on. And lo and behold, at 1:30, we've been told that Santa is due to arrive. So he'll be at the Town Hall. There'll be lots of photo opportunities, and that's 1:30 at the Town Hall. Here in the gallery at Main Street Bookends, we're going to have Rebecca Rule, wonderful New Hampshire author, storyteller, collector of stories from all over the state. She's going to be here with her latest book called New Hampshire Trivia, and she's going to conduct an actual trivia game with us here in the gallery. So that's going to be so much fun from 2 to 4. And then also throughout the town, we have the Family Closet, which is to benefit the Warner Food Pantry. They're going to be open from 10 to 4 with all kinds of Christmas gifts and Christmas clothes and holiday and so forth. That'll be going on from 10 to 4. We have the Buttonwood Shop here on Main Street. Wonderful crafts and all based in nature. Wonderful stuff. Warner Public Market is open, and they'll have lots of local crafts, local food, all kinds of great gifts in there. Charlie Mac, Reed's, The Local, and Cafe One East are our wonderful restaurants that we have open, and they'll be serving all of you during that day. Come on by. So Warner, again, has a lot going on, and it will be Saturday, December 7th, starting at 9 o'clock. Please come on by and enjoy getting ready for the holidays. So if you are wanting more details and more information about all this, you can go to our website here at Main Street Bookends and come on down to Warner and enjoy the beginning of the holiday season, because something wonderful is always happening in Warner.
If you're looking for that classic small town holiday experience, Warner's been doing it right for years. Check it out. When we come back, Rick Stockwell wraps up our visit to his Sutton Bonsai grounds and shows us some of his most beautiful and unique work. But first, these words from local businesses that make this show possible with their underwriting gifts. You too can join our supporters by contacting us at info@ycnnow.com to learn more.
This program is supported by Main Street Bookends of Warner. For books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Elizabeth DeRazio. For 3 weeks, we have had the privilege of visiting with Rick Stockwell and learning about bonsai. Let's join him now with a look at his interesting endeavor. Rick?
I've been doing this for 55 years, and some of these trees I've had for that period of time. When I first get a tree and I train it, I put it in the ground for a while to develop the trunk, to fatten the trunk, and it may be a seedling tree like this Japanese maple, and in 5 years this can be a pretty decent bonsai. Some trees take years before they're even going to be decent. So that's a tree that's grown on a rock, and there's soil around the pot to cover the rock, and then I'll slowly take that off and expose the rock more and more every year, so the roots will grow over the rock and you'll get some nice movement. But basically everything here is in the ground for a while, and I take a shovel and I root prune them every year to keep the roots small. When they go in a pot, like these are some root over rock examples where they're trained, the roots are trained to go over the rock, and the top is beginning to be pruned and shaped. This was a root over rock that died, so I plant another tree on it to make it look like deadwood in the Sierra Nevadas and so on. So some are root over rock, some are planted in a container like this, more sculptural. This is styrofoam, and I made this last winter, and it's hollow, so it's filled with soil, and then I plant all these little junipers in there, and 5 years from now this will be decent. It'll look like those mountains in Japan where you've got the trees growing on just about nothing. This is a root over rock here, and so the rock adds interest, and these are companion plants that go along with the trees and the character of the trees. Companion plants just add interest. Instead of just having the trees by themselves, I use a variety of different kinds of companion plants to set them off. Another sculptural kind of a plant is this. The mountains in Japan kind of look like that, and so this is soil in between there, and these trees are growing on the side of a mountain. This is an example of how I grow a tree to get this fat trunk and this taper. This tree is probably a few years away from being finished, but you can see on the back side of this how I grew this about 20 feet tall, chopped it, grew it more, chopped it, chop, and so that's how I get this taper on this bald cypress, which grows in the swamps in Florida, so I keep it in water. Of all these trees that I have, I wouldn't say I have any that are done yet. I have a few that are close. I need to live for another 20 years. I'm 80, almost 80, so I'm being optimistic about my longevity. And I do teach a course in the spring through Adventures in Learning, which is through Colby Sawyer College. And people come out here, and I do demonstrations and a PowerPoint presentation, and it's for people interested in the whole culture of bonsai. They're not necessarily going to do bonsai, but so my goal, even though I've been doing this for 55 years, I don't feel I've had a tree yet that I could enter into the national show in Rochester, New York. So next September, I'll submit, and if I get some trees in the national show, then I've made it. Then I'm a good bonsai guy.
Thank you, Rick, for this introduction to the process of bonsai, and congratulations on your amazing efforts. When we return to MJ Harrington, we'll get another installment from the Bark and Bray Sanctuary Farm and learn how you can help their efforts. But first, our effort to sustain your Yankee Chronicle. We'll hear from another of the fine businesses that are supporting us this show. Please stay with us.
This program is supported by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the Country Press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Welcome back to Your Yankee Chronicle, the who, what, when, and where show of the Lake Sunapee region. I'm Elizabeth DeRazio, your host, coming to you from MJ Harrington Jewelers on Main Street in Newport, where they are proud to give back to the community, and that gives so much back to them. Speaking of giving, our Laura James is with Ben Taylor at the Bark and Bray Sanctuary Farm to learn how you can help. Laura?
Oh, I can barely stand it. Hi, I'm Laura James, and we are back at Bark and Bray Farm Animal Sanctuary. Speaking now with Ben Taylor. Hi, Ben.
Hi.
We are standing here with the best company. Right, look at them right behind us.
They are.
They were looking at us. I swear they were smiling at us.
Yeah. They love the attention.
Oh, it is so good to be here. So we're here in Wilmot, New Hampshire, and the name of it is Bark and Bray Farm Animal Sanctuary.
Correct.
Yes, yes. What a beautiful spot this is, too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you have a lot of happy animals. We have spoken in the past with your wife, Jen. You have paddocks filled with everything from a pot-bellied pig to a miniature herd, who we're looking at right here. I mean, I think they wanted to be in the shop with us.
I think they do.
Oh, and what I really want to talk about is fundraising. You know, I came to know you through one of your little goats, Sybil, who you took in and literally nursed back to life.
Yeah.
It was through social media. And I thought that was so significant and so important because it's not easy or inexpensive to run a farm sanctuary, is it?
No, it is not. No, I mean, that's one of the reasons that we became a nonprofit, was to help with funding for these animals. I mean, they last 30 to 40 years, a lot of the equines and things like that, and they always need food, always need hay, always needs to be cleaned, always needs to be everything. Yeah.
They need veterinary care. They need, and you have a wonderful wealth of volunteers here too, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just met Polly today, and she's and you have a ton of people who come out, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. We have about 10 to 12 consistent volunteers.
Okay.
Some help with fundraising, some help with events, some help with cleaning, some help with when we're doing veterinary things. Some are pre-vet that just want education, and so it's a really good base.
It really is, and you do. So not only do you care for the animals and give them really a second chance at life, but you also reach out to the community doing educational programs too.
Exactly, yeah. We try to have a volunteer base for pretty much anybody that wants to be involved. And so if people don't feel comfortable handling the animals, but they want to help with events and things like that, terrific, we can do that. Or if they do want to help with animals, we have a volunteer program so that they start with the equines. They're generally not as dangerous or a little bit more docile. And then we kind of progress to the goats, and then we progress to the bovines, and then at the very last is Hagrid.
Is Hagrid?
Yes, because he's a little bit unpredictable. Yeah.
Hagrid's your pot-bellied pig?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Of Harry Potter fame, of course, right? That's the name comes from.
Yep.
That's awesome. So when your fundraising efforts, is it, tell us how we can support you on your website. We can go to your events. How can we support?
Yeah, so I mean, every little bit helps. We have events planned, and we have an events calendar on our website.
Perfect.
We have a silent auction coming up that'll be through Facebook and things like that, and Give Butter.
Nice.
And then next year, you can also come and visit, and do donkey treks. Next summer, we'll have actual experiences, and so Punch in the Pasture, things like that you can come and enjoy kind of a day out or an afternoon or something like that.
And as you think about the holidays too, keep that in mind, because experiences are what we like to give to our children, our grandchildren, right? To just come, and someone can just come down and visit with a quick call, right?
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Just come down and see it.
Yeah.
Now, when they come, what will they see when they get here? Tell us about, I guess we've been talking about the farm, but tell us about your facility here.
So it depends on what they want to do. I mean, so essentially we'd come and give them a whole tour of the actual sanctuary, but there are also things where you can take our donkeys on a trek, and we have conservation land right down the road, and so we halter them up, take them on down. There's about it's about a quarter of a mile, something like that. Not too bad. You go by a really nice beaver pond, you get your picture taken, and they pose very well.
They do. They have been posing all morning with us, which I love. They've been coming up, standing right behind us. They really have been. So you're located really on the New London line.
Yep.
Here in Wilmette.
Yep.
And it was easy for me, right down 4A.
Exactly.
And we were here.
Exactly.
So it's an easy way to get here too.
Yeah.
So we've been running all your information, on the bottom in our little scroll here to tell people how they can give. But what message would you like to give to people as they think about the animals and taking care of the animals in their world?
The biggest thing is that it's not a knee-jerk reaction. Is when you want to get an animal, especially like an equine or something like that, that it's a long commitment. It's not just quick little, hey, we're going to get this animal, it's going to be really
Pat
cute
on the head and
everything like
fine.
that. Exactly.
Right.
There's a lot of work that goes along with it. There's a lot of training that goes along with it. And it's just a time commitment mainly. But it's extremely rewarding if you plan for it correctly.
You need to go into the schools. You're very good. Yeah. You really are, because I think that's an important message for children too.
Oh, it is.
Right, that not only are dogs and cats and our home animals important, but as you come here, there are a lot of animals who need your help. And you're coming into a tough time of year, right, with the winter?
Yes, winter is definitely our hardest time. We don't allow people to come over in the winter, even though it's really beautiful with all the snow and everything.
Sure.
Just because of water freezing and
Absolutely.
cleaning every day and everything like
Yeah.
that. Generally, the animals aren't. The cows are actually much better in the wintertime. That's kind of their.
Interesting.
Yeah, one is a mini Western Highlander, and then one is a yak, and so they're both very used to snow and very used to cold temperatures.
Right.
And so they're fine with it. A lot of the donkeys, because they're much more desert animals, they're not as happy, so to speak, or
Sure.
not as. You can't approach them as easily and things like that.
Now that makes sense. Last time I visited, it was a hot summer day, and your poor little cows were just lying there.
Exactly.
Don't talk to me, please.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you really have to understand the needs of the animals. Too.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, exactly. Well, Ben Taylor, we're so grateful to you and your wife, Jen.
Oh, thank you.
Bark and Brave Farm Animal Sanctuary. Please think about giving, even a holiday gift.
Yeah.
If you'd like to, give to the animals, you can do that.
Yes, of course. So we also do sponsorships of an actual animal. So if you get attached to a specific animal, you can sponsor an animal and you'll get special updates, you'll get a newsletter, you'll get special access to events and things like that. When we open up events, you get about 2 weeks of advance to sign up, and certain other, specialty gifts and things like that.
Right here in Wilmot, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good. Ben, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility. Bye, everybody. Thank you for letting us visit. Look at how friendly and nice.
Thank you, Ben and Laura. What a great way to give abused animals a real second chance. During the season of hope, add them to your list. I'd like to thank Dave Lance and his gang here at MJ Harrington in Newport for hosting us this week. Their dedication to the community is as precious as the gemstones they use and the crafts they make, and they take it just as seriously. Next week, we'll step aside for the second edition of Cougar Chronicle as we learn about the happenings of the Kearsarge Regional School District students, teachers, and administrators. In 2 weeks, we'll be right back here on Main Street in Newport. Our Abby Peel will head down to MJ Harrington Jewelry's workshop and visit with their fine craftsmen and see them at work. Ben Cusack and his Duck Drop team will give us a wrap-up of their efforts this year, and Pastor Glide will invite us to an ecumenical gathering to celebrate the season with carols and lessons. We will close our final visit to Bark and Brave Sanctuary Farm as we meet the beautiful and friendly friends there. Tune into our Game of the Week every week on Sunday and Monday at noon and 7 p.m. This week, we replay a great comeback win when Newport hosts Kearsarge in football action. You can find it on Comcast 8, TDS 13, 1013, and YCNNow.com. Check the program schedule at YCNNow.com for the most up-to-date information on games, Yankee Chronicle, and specials. Join us again in 2 weeks at the same time for another round of the Who, What, Where, and When show of the Lake Sunapee region. I'm Elizabeth DeRazio. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
This program is supported by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications. Main Street Bookends of Warner, for books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner. The Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.